Good morning, everyone. It's Poli-Ticking with Mr. B is a special edition. Currently, it is coming up on 9 o'clock in the morning here on the eastern seaboard of the United States. It is currently coming up on 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Tel Aviv and coming up at 4:30 in Tehran, Iran. Here's what we got going on for you. Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi is confirmed dead. Their foreign minister also, who was on a helicopter trip with them yesterday sometime in the afternoon after going to the opening of a infrastructure project having to do with a dam, went down in a helicopter. Well, let's recap what the news that we have for you so far. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi experienced a hard landing, was what was called, in a helicopter, according to Iran's state media, was what was first reported. It took place in the Dizmir area in East Azerbaijan, in the dense forest area that was there. It was said to be where the incident had taken place, and a dense fog had moved in reportedly, and it was hampering any rescue attempts and search and rescue attempts that were going on. The Interior Minister Ahmed Valid originally reported that the hard landing was due to a bad weather situation. A little background on the president who is now the decedent is Ibrahim with an E. Rezoy Sadati is the total full name. Became president in 2021. Previously was a Muslim jurist. He was born on December 14th, 1960, in Kherson, Iran. His political party back then was a Combatant Clergy Association. He married Jamal Amal Hulda in 1983 and had two children. His alma mater was Sahadi Muthari University and Qom Seminary, and he eventually had the political affiliation of the Islamic Republican Party until 1987. Riazi, as he is now has now been called, had a key role in the death committee that executed thousands of prisoners in the 1980s. However, he persists in denying said involvement. No matter any time he was questioned about it all, he denied any wrongdoing or being involved in it. He joined the judiciary very young in Iran and became Tehran's chief prosecutor and head of the state's inspectorate organization before being elected to their assembly of experts in 2006. 2017, he lost a presidential bid, but was later appointed to the deputy chief of the Assembly of Experts in 2019 by Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. That year saw the lowest turnout in Iran's voting history. Ever the hardliner, this man Raisi is sanctioned by the USA as an involved party in the 1988 mass execution murders of thousands of political prisoners, has a known protege of the Ayatollah and was likely to be the successor of the 85-year-old Ayatollah when he passed on. News had staggered in very little because we know that they tend to keep things close to the vest in the Iranian area, and the Iranian news media and so forth only puts out what these people talk about and what they will tell them. And we know now that they have found the wreckage. Very late last night, there was reports that they had brought in some drones that had found heat signatures, but still it was too dense fog. But they have found things today now in the daylight, and they do have some video image that's going on. And there are some streaming videos also of the wreckage area, and where you can see that you can actually see the body of the helicopter, and there is a tremendous amount of debris around the crash area. We do have some live stream feeding. Do you want to put that up and co-marry it with my image, Mr. Blazeman, if we've got that available? Yeah, there we go. If you can see, let's have a look. You can see up in the upper right-hand quadrant, you can see what is the body of that helicopter, and through that area, you can see the very dense forestation that is there, and it's completely understandable that would make the hindrance to any of the search and rescue efforts, compounded with the fact that they had some of the most dense fog that I have heard or that I've ever heard of or I have ever seen, and it had been publicized and shown a lot. We do have information that there were no persons that were found alive, and that is all that they have said thus far. There has been widespread speculation, ladies and gentlemen, that this may have been some sort of involvement with the Israeli Mossad. This is nothing. No one has come out to claim that there has been any attacks of any kind from any government at all. Everything is being kept very, very quiet. If this was indeed a a hunt and kill expedition, all that we know now is that the helicopter is down. There are the 2 deaths, and there is a lot of speculation now as to what may be going on or what may take place within the government of Iran in the near future. Uh, there are other trains of thought that have been supposed and put forward that now might be a time for the opposition, which has been growing a great deal. There is a lot of opposition to the government, to the Ayatollah, and to the Shia law and the Islamic uh, government that they have there. The people of Iran are tired of it, and it is well known that the people want to be rid of this government and be rid of the people that are running their country and have been bringing their country into great ruin. And now it is said that may be a time that an uprising may occur. If it does, it would have to be something that was brought out very strongly and have a lot of force behind it, because we know that the Iranian regime is very, very heavy fisted. And the person who was the vice president, who has now stepped into the presidency because they've confirmed Raisi's death, is even worse than Raisi himself. A staunch, very firm hardliner. If uprisings occur, they're going to do whatever they can, and I mean whatever they can, to put it down. Also, weighing in the balance, ladies and gentlemen, is we know that the intelligence community has confirmed reports that it is believed that Iran is within a period of days, not weeks or months, within a period of days of producing a thermonuclear device. And we also know that they are very friendly with Russia, who could be supplying a means of a delivery system. So all of this now remains to be seen. And if this was indeed an act of a foreign government that did this, are other attacks on more Iranian officials looming? We don't know. These are things that we have to continue. We have a live video, and I want to go ahead and put it up over there and see. I don't know if there's anything else that's going to be said from the live video that we have.
Fortunately, the wreckage has been found now, and the officers who have reached the site have said that there is no sign of life there. So it has been understood that Iranian President Raisi has died with all on board the helicopters, including Iranian Foreign Minister Abdul Hand. And this is the time when Iranians are seeing a pouring of condolence messages from across the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself has tweeted and said that he's saddened by the demise of the president of Iran. We have seen just few days before India and Iran has signed a very important deal that would entail a development of Chabahar port for a 10-year contract. So we can understand the kind of deep engagement India and Iran were having, and with the new government that is supposedly going to take place in the next 2 months, there could be a new direction that the Iranian government will take, and with the kind of crisis that we are witnessing in Middle East.
It's a little confusing with the guy talking in the background and the guy speaking English. You can barely hear what he's saying.
Yeah, it's difficult. He's translating as best he can from the Arabic into
Raisi had moved Iran further into a more right-wing, clamping down on dissent. You remember the women protests, people were coming out against the hijab, people were cutting their hair, there were Olympic athletes, women athletes who were coming out. So domestically, the last 3 years of the Raisi regime has been one of the most repressive. But more importantly, what it also means is that the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, he is aging and aging quite fast. There's speculation that in the next few months, if not in the next year or so, there will be some kind of a decision on who will be the next supreme leader of Iran. And
B, what's the time in Iran right now?
The time in Iran, let me have a look at it a second. Time in Iran is 4:39 p.m.
Leader who will emerge. There is a lot of protests in Iran that we've seen, particularly in the last year or so.
All right, B, have at it. I'm going to try and find our viewers a better live video and a better content while you entertain.
The Iranian government has been one that has been very oppressive and filled with Islamic fundamentalism and extremism for many, many years, since the Iranian Revolution back in 1979, when over 400 people were taken hostage and held hostage. I'm sorry. It was less than that. It was less than 400 people. They were held for 444 days by students when they had attacked the embassy in Iran. And since that time, at that time, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini had come into power. Over the present years, there have been 7 other ayatollahs. This is the 8th ayatollah. This fellow that has passed on, Ibrahim Raisi, apparently, from the information that I have, apparently he was going to be the very likely or the presumptive replacement for this Ayatollah that they have, who is currently 85 years old, and now this man's death throws into a very chaotic world the question of who will replace him. Again, the vice president, according to their charter, is taking the place of the presidency.
So I'm getting a report right now, B, that the live ICC seeking arrest for Netanyahu and Hamas leaders for war crimes.
The ICC?
Yes, sir.
They're seeking arrest for war crimes and so forth. This is a bunch of horse shit in plain English.
No, it's live right now.
I understand. I understand that it's live, but all of that is all just a bunch of horse shit. They're doing anything and everything they possibly can to take the heat off of Gaza, because Gaza and the.
I think we should let the audience listen for a little bit, B.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Of what's happening in Palestine. So I think we can't say for sure this won't flare up again, and you don't know why. You're right. We've done a lot of reporting on the issue of the fact that American troops are not under direct attack, and these are Iraqi bases where American troops are. Currently, there is, unspoken truce, but that could at any moment disappear. It's a fragile truce.
Again, I mean, masterful description, but the one thing I would add is that from a U.S. interest perspective, I would highly recommend that there is a consideration for security cooperation between Iraq and the U.S. I think that there's probably going to be a much smaller footprint and cooperation at a much less tactical level. I think it also has to do with what kind of munitions, what kind of weapons does Iraq want to have, what kind of direction they want to take. Also, U.S. companies are likely going to feel more comfortable seeing how the governance goes, anti-corruption, but also, some kind of a U.S. presence that's fairly robust, but far lower than where we are right now. So definitely something to consider.
So Ali, Mina and Yanni both alluded to this, which is come after the attacks against the U.S. service members in Jordan in January, the Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria have basically stopped their attacks on U.S. bases. And so, I mean, A, why did that happen? B, then this is a big question. What does Iran want right now?
Okay.
What is its actual goals?
I'm going to put out a
And
supposition
C,
here. This is just my
one thing
take
that is pretty clear
on what's going on. This gentleman had just mentioned that the attacks had ceased against American bases and so forth. Now that we have this fellow who was the vice president, who is now the interim president of Iran, all bets are off with that. And since this fellow is a known ultra hardliner, we can fully expect that these are most likely going to resume. There are going to be more attacks opening up again on U.S. bases. Ladies and gentlemen, this all remains to be seen. And again, this is my best take on it. Don't take me for gossip for granted, but for God's sake, the best thing that I can do is at this point remain situationally aware and ready to self-protect and self-defend. We also know and realize, ladies and gentlemen, that the enemy isn't just over there in a pile of sand somewhere. We know, and it is not just an accepted thought, it is fact now that there are operatives of Islamist extremism here on the soil on mainland United States. And it's only a period of time before another terrorist attack on our soil takes place. And who's the people that are backing it? Of course, Iran. We know this, and these are the things that many countries' intelligence communities all know. That having been said, of course, our president, Sleepy Joe Biden, Jojo Jack in the Box as I refer to him, still is poised and of the mind to take 100,000 people from Gaza as refugees and bring them here to the comfort of the United States. Well, isn't that all just fan-bloody-tastic? That we have to remind ourselves or remember that the people in Gaza aren't all very nice people. There's Hamas that's in Gaza.
Right now,
and
B,
before
I got the
Hamas,
video.
beg pardon?
The breaking video. Video.
We have a breaking video. Bring it up.
We are following breaking news out of Iran for you, where the government is expressing condolences over the deaths of President Ibrahim Raisi and the country's foreign minister and 7 others in a helicopter crash. Now, the bodies of those killed will be transported to a staging area in the city of Tabriz. Iranian officials say the helicopter with 9 people on board ran into trouble amid heavy fog on Sunday afternoon. Images of the crash site in Iran's East Azerbaijan province show the remote mountainous area where the aircraft went down. The president and other officials have been attending an inauguration ceremony of a new dam near the border with Azerbaijan. Iranian state TV is airing Islamic prayers between news broadcasts after word of the president's death, and the country's supreme leader is vowing there will be no disruption in Iran's work.
This morning, we have breaking news that could have major implications.
Well, I'm with you, B.
Okay.
So I got to listen. In the picture that they showed, they only showed the tail of the helicopter. Where was the rest of it?
Well, if you looked at that debris field, I would expect that that's a good portion of it. Question is, what could take a helicopter apart like that?
Okay, so
I'll be very honest with you.
I have it
don't
right
know.
here, B, and
Yep.
there's only the tail section.
Right.
Where's the rest of the helicopter?
If you look forward, there's like a fan. It fans out like this. You see where that tail section is?
Yeah.
Okay. And from that tail section, if you look, you can see it's almost like there's two arms on either side, thrusting forward, like almost like a cone pointing back to the tail section.
Yeah.
As
only...
if it blew out forward.
It's only the tail section.
Right.
Those are rotors.
Okay.
The tail end over there.
I know. No, if you look towards the bottom of the picture, you see that there's the tail rotor, then you have the wings, right? And then keep moving downward a little bit. Okay, down a little.
On for you, where the
bring your cursor over a little more. Push it up straight now, up right there. From there, if you look to the left and to the right, it looks like there's two arms like this.
Yeah, up top here.
Yeah, coming down towards. No. I mean in the dirt.
Yeah.
See the dirt?
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
See what I'm saying? It's almost like a cone, like it blew out forward.
I understand what you're saying. I do. I understand what you're saying, and try to explain it a little bit more for our viewers. So you're saying, that the helicopter hit that way, and then
no. What I'm saying is absolutely the opposite. Again, and I will lean forward into my experience as a firefighter EMT, and I have experienced air crash scenes. And I don't think I have ever seen something that would blow forward in a situation like this. This looks almost like, well, you've seen like military claymores that blow outward, or a shotgun that comes out and it spreads this way.
Yeah.
This to me looks like, if you will, an explosion that blew and went forward. Because it doesn't appear that there's anything behind the helicopter as debris. That this doesn't make any sense. If you will, the quote unquote flow mechanics of this scene, as I'm looking at it, does not make sense. That it would be just a hard landing crash. There should be debris almost equally all the way around it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Where is the rest of the damn helicopter?
So why I'm saying it looks like it was all blown forward by what? Some kind of an otherwise unnatural force. This does not make sense. From what I am seeing, this does not make sense as just a simple air crash.
Oh, that's what we're trying to find out, B.
Oh, I know that. And what I'm saying is, to me, visually, the evidence that I am seeing predicates that this could not be just a simple air crash.
B, but that's what I'm trying to tell you, B. Where is the rest of the copter?
Okay, you see the very bottom of the.
I'm working on it right now. Okay,
I'm just saying.
I'm looking at better photos right now, B. I'm just trying to find the right ones to show the audience, and there's no fucking helicopter anywhere. The rest of the helicopter is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, you see all those little pieces that are laying all over the place?
I'm going to get to that in 1 second, B.
Yeah.
Okay, you could sit there and talk like that all you want. I'm trying to get better photos.
Okay.
Let's see. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing the best we can to give you the best content possible. Yeah. Okay, B, continue.
Last night, ladies and gentlemen,
right now.
I'm sorry?
I said you can continue. I'm
Okay.
working on it.
Thank you very much. Word was last night, ladies and gentlemen, the people of Iran were trying to say that sanctions by the United States were the cause of this crash, saying that these people were dealing with riding in outdated equipment, helicopters and so forth that were in disrepair, which
That's a
to me
bunch
makes
of
absolutely
shit.
no sense whatsoever. I think it's a load of horse shit. These people are still pumping plenty of oil and selling it to the Russians. They have plenty of cash flow, and certainly they've had more than enough cash flow to come up with a bunch of rockets to throw over into Israel. They've got plenty of money uh, to pay for helicopters. Also, we had some video from a interview with the now former president of Iran from 2022 with Leslie Stahl that showed what things were like in mainstream Iran, including a shopping mall that had all sorts of very updated and most modern things that were in the area and were available. So the argument that United States sanctions are to blame for this crash are just absolutely unfounded. I think Mr. Blazeman has some video for us now.
I got a picture.
You got a photograph for us, okay?
Okay, so I want you to use your expertise on helicopter and plane crashes because where is the rest?
Okay. Now
of
you see.
the heli-
Remember we were talking about that V
Yep,
shape.
yep,
Okay,
yep.
you can see it now, much more pronounced, can't you?
Of course, and I
All right, and you
again,
see
all I
all
see,
those little white pieces that looks like confetti laying all over the place. That would be
right?
parts of the body of the helicopter.
Okay,
All right,
B.
and it all
There's
blew
only
forward. It didn't blow in a circle around it.
where is it, B?
Huh?
Where is the rest of the helicopter?
All of those white things that
No,
you're
B.
saying.
No, B. How can the little tiny tail survive and the giant piece of the helicopter get completely fucking obliterated?
Because of perhaps a bomb inside the body
Could be, B,
of
right?
the
That's what I'm trying
helicopter.
to get at, B.
Okay.
Okay, now we're talking. Now our viewers are trying to listen to what the hell we're talking about, B. Where's the rest of the helicopter?
Right.
Okay. Now you have experience with fucking, crashes because you used to volunteer, all this stuff like that. Okay. Where's the rest of the helicopter, B?
That's why I'm saying all of those little pieces all over the place. That's the helicopter. You're not seeing a fuselage or whatever, and you're not seeing a very big burn area. You can see that there's a little bit of the crater back right in front of that tail section. But other than that, ladies and
There's
gentlemen,
nothing.
this looks more like some kind of either a missile or a bomb went off in the main body of this helicopter.
Speculation.
Pardon me?
We're
Speculation?
speculating at this time.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to bring on Snicks. He's got something to add about the crash. Hey, Snicks, how are you? All right. We got no sound, Snicks.
Is he muted?
No, I just need
No, he's
a
good.
microphone.
He likes to touch the buttons on his machines and then forgets what he touches.
I have
Snicks.
a new soundboard, so please everybody bear with me this morning. Happy Monday.
right.
Thank you for allowing me to be here, Mr. B.
Yeah, you're 5 by 5, my friend. Go ahead, talk.
So I may be able to help you out a little bit with this issue that you and Blazeman are having with this helicopter thing. Now, depending on how you want to look at this, okay? Now, I did a little research on this recently. I don't know if you guys heard about the Ocean Gate Titan submersible that went down last
Yes.
June.
Yeah. The implosion.
Yes, sir. So I'm very intrigued by anything to do with that in the Titanic. So I might be able to help you out with this. So they were talking about on how when the Titanic itself went down, okay, and why is it so deep in the dirt now when you look at it? So what's happening is if you see those burn mark trails going up to where the tail end of that helicopter is, okay, that right there is actually showing that when the helicopter went down, whether if there's bodies on it really or not, depending on how you guys want to look at it out there, I'm just giving you guys a perspective. What that there shows is that it took a spin going down, okay? It took a spin and then it dragged from the tip of the nose of that helicopter all the way down to what you see left to that tail end.
Right. And I agree with that, Snicks, to the point where, yeah, so if the helicopter's going down, it's, it's spinning in a circle. It hits a hard landing. The tail section of it gets pushed back a little bit.
Yeah.
I get all of that.
Yeah.
What would make that even more believable to me is where's the rest of the fucking helicopter?
Fuel on that helicopter. Like I said, Blaze, bear with me, whether if there was really bodies on there or not. Just like 9/11, okay? You can go back to the 9/11, whether if you think if it was a conspiracy or not. The general consensus is because the fuel on that plane, no matter what, once that impact happens, boom, it's done. All right, there's your fucking debris. You're lucky you even have that debris because the rest is ashes. That's what's going on there. The rest is fucking ashes. You're seeing.
I'm trying to go with this. I'm trying to feel B's conspiracy that there was a bomb on board, and the bomb was so big that it just obliterated the whole cockpit section of the helicopter.
Now you can go that route too, but if there was a bomb and it's still near the fuel, what's gonna happen, man? I know a lot about this kind of stuff, because I am a licensed fire inspector in 2 different states, and I do hold fire protection certifications as well. And that's one thing that no matter the fuel on that plane, it's gonna burn every little bit that it can. So you're seeing everything of that helicopter right there in front of you.
Right.
One of the things that would help is if we could orient the scene as to find out which direction the helicopter was flying. Was it flying in this direction, that direction, before this impact that we're seeing happen?
Well, if you wanted to go there, they did say that they were at a couple of events. Is that what they were doing?
No, well, okay, but where on this? From which direction were they flying from? From like the left corner, the right corner, upper.
First of all, there's no coordinates over here. I think we're just getting a little bit like far-fetched, and we're not fucking air whatever they're called, fucking inspectors. Okay, we're just guys that are reporting on something that we think that's bullshit. Okay, and I get everybody's explanation. I do, but it's irrelevant because where's the fucking rest of the helicopter?
You're seeing it. That's what you're not getting.
I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing a little bit of debris.
That burn track right there, Blaze.
I don't know what this
burn
is.
Track, that's debris. And you're lucky you even see that because of the fuel on that helicopter.
Right.
If you pick up all those little pieces and put them all together, then you'll see the rest of the helicopter.
No, you won't.
Blaze, and look at the spot where it landed. There's trees, leaves, everything. That's going to burn up even more, dude.
First of all, this area right here where my cursor's circling it, that's a fucking hole.
That's a crater.
Okay? That's from where the main cockpit of the helicopter fucking crashed. And here's the tail part that broke off from it. Either they came and removed the whole fuselage cockpit area away from there, and somebody with satellites got pictures of the tail end because they removed the shit at night. Okay? I mean, come on.
Hey, I get what you're saying, and it's valid. It really is, no matter what. But you're still looking at those burn marks right there, dude. It's still spiraled, and then as it's spiraling, dude, it's digging deeper, dude. So that could be really anything.
Right, you're right. Look, here's a great fucking point, right? Because I'm a big believer that our country had something to do with 9/11. Now, when Flight 93 crashed into fucking Pennsylvania, there was no debris. It was, and everybody's like, how can this plane crash and leave this crater and not have any fucking debris?
Yeah, see, but that was different. That was like, there was.
No, it's not different because we're not seeing
Hollywood debris. All right, because I agree with you. I agree. Like there was no.
And we're not seeing any cockpit or fuselage from the helicopter. B, you're awful quiet.
You just said cockpit. You said that cockpit was one of the first parts of that fucking helicopter to go. It's in
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. If there was a bomb on board, okay, and what you're trying to say, Rick, Jesus, Snicks, correct me if I'm wrong, is you're saying the reason why you want to know where they were is because you're trying to get an idea on how much fuel would have been on board on a fucking helicopter, correct?
No. That was Mr. B's portion. Me, I'm just relating to the fact that because of the fuel on that plane, well, if you think there was really people on that helicopter, I should say, or if they're just trying to throw people off, a conspiracy, whatever. If I still had an empty helicopter and I'm flying it with a fucking remote, okay, let's just say I got a bomb on there, whatever, but I go crash that shit because of the fuel I have on that fucking plane, it's gonna go up.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And we have a call coming in.
Let's see. Hey, caller, you're on the air with Poli-Ticking with Mr. B, special edition of the Iranian helicopter president crash. How can we help you this evening?
I obviously got the wrong number.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Would you like to weigh in?
Hey, good morning, sir.
Weigh in. It happened. It is what it is. Accidents happening. Don't try blaming anybody.
Well,
go up in a helicopter in bad weather and you expect to be fine.
Yeah, but we are covering this like no tomorrow. Actually, we're covering it so good that shit that we said is being reported on the news later on. And we're looking at a picture of this helicopter crash, and there's no cockpit or fuselage at all. All we're seeing is the tail. Where'd the rest of this helicopter go? As far as conspiracy goes, do you think maybe they were killed, shot down by a missile or a bomb on board? Because the picture that we're looking at of the crash only shows the tail end of the helicopter. The rest of the helicopter is not visible at all. So if it was loaded with fuel, number one, and number two, if there was a bomb on board and that bomb goes off, you're obliterating that cockpit fuselage. Would you agree, sir?
I would agree, but I just think shit happens. That's all.
Well, thank you very much for your call, sir. We hope you tune in. There's something called the FFN Network. Look for us and tune in and see what else we have to offer. I thank you very much for calling, and I hope you find your correct intended contact. Thank you again.
All right, thank you.
I'll call you later. Bye. Okay, so there you go, B. Huh? You happy, B?
I'm happier than the pig in the grease pig contest.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to call into the show and you have, some info or what you think, what we're seeing here, in your opinion, give us a call here at the FFN Network, Poli-Ticking with Mr. B at 508-974-4231. And if you got any more extra questions, you can email us at ffnnetwork9@gmail.com. Go visit us at ffnnetwork.org.
Hey, Mr. Blazeman, I think it's about time. It's reasonable and prudent. We have a break and paid some bills.
Yeah, we're going to run a little break, ladies and gentlemen, but don't go nowhere. As a matter of fact, get some more of your friends to come on and watch this because I'm going to sit on this. I'm going to argue with these two guys, okay?
Because make the popcorn, because
somebody's got to fucking tell me where the rest of this helicopter is. That's all I got to say there.
I got a show to do later on tonight, so I'll stick around and roast this turkey as long as we run it.
Yeah.
Let's keep cooking it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back in about 3 minutes. Stick around for more special edition President of Iran dead. Poli-Ticking with Mr. B on the FFN Network. We will be right back.
My name is Steven, your public relations officer at FFN Media Network. We believe that every story deserves to be heard. Every voice deserves to be amplified, and every idea deserves to shine. As a small media company, we are committed to creating a platform where content creators, visionaries, and changemakers like you can thrive. You might say to yourself, why do we need FFN Network? Well, let me tell you what we can do for you. 1. Our mission is simple: empower, elevate, and engage. We are not just another media outlet. 2. Our producers will help you build your show, add content, and put you on 15 different platforms. 3. We help you promote your show. Whether it is through captivating articles, thought-provoking videos, or inspiring podcasts, we are here to help you make a difference. What sets us apart? At FFN Media Network, we embrace hard work. Our team of talented producers and creators come from all social classes, ensuring that our content reflects a rich tapestry of experiences, cultures, and viewpoints. Join the FFN team. Join FFN Media Network and be part of a community that celebrates creativity, authenticity, and positive impact. Let us amplify your voice and share your story on FFN Network and with the world. Get to know our founder, Blaise St. Pierre, the new guy in the media industry. So if you have a great idea for a show or a business and want to place an ad on FFN Network, give us a call at 774-704-5145 or email us at ffnnetwork9@gmail.com and join the FFN Network family. Thank you. FFN Network.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Poli-Ticking with Mr. B, a special edition for the death of the Iranian president, Ibrahim Raisi. We have information, of course, that he and the the foreign minister, also died, perished in a helicopter crash. The reasons for and so forth still are up in the air. And there are people that are asking and want to know, how the hell did things ever turn out so into such a pile of shit in Iran? Well, let's step back in some history and give you a little backward history now about where and when things went terribly wrong for Iran and turned into the shit show that it is now. We have a video from back in about when the Iranian Revolution took place in 1979 and show you what exactly happened. Mr. Blaisman, could you go ahead and launch that for us?
40 years ago, Shiite Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini spearheaded a revolution that deposed the monarchy in Iran. In its place arose an Islamic republic. A repressive theocracy had replaced an authoritarian monarchy. And almost overnight, Iran had been transformed from a crucial US ally into a bitter opponent. Here are some of the key dates that led to the revolution. From 1941 to 1979, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, a close partner of the United States, had ruled Iran. He modernized Iran while forcefully suppressing dissent and political freedoms. The clergy opposed the Shah's social and economic reforms. Discontent grew until in 1978, anti-Shah demonstrations spread across the mostly Shia country. Strikes and mass protests erupted, and accusation flew that the Shah was the US puppet. Martial law was imposed. Cassette tapes of speeches by the 76-year-old Khomeini were smuggled into the country, fueling the unrest. Many Iranians took to the rooftops at night to shout Allahu Akbar, or God is great, to express their protest. On January 16, 1979, the Shah left Iran for what was officially a vacation. Many Iranians rejoiced with chants of "The Shah is gone." The man who'd ruled the country for 37 years would never return from exile, dying some 13 months later. On February 1st, a crowd of around 3 million people in Tehran welcomed Khomeini's return from 14 years of exile. Asked about his feelings, the Islamic revivalist famously gave a cryptic one-word answer: nothing. Finally, on February 11th, the revolutionaries declared victory after Iran's demoralized armed forces declared neutrality. The monarchy was suddenly gone. Deadly factionalism followed, but Khomeini held the upper hand. And in April, following a nationwide referendum, an Islamic Republic was officially proclaimed, eventually with Khomeini at its apex. Thousands of Shah-era officials and other Iranians would be executed following summary trials. Student revolutionaries would storm the US embassy, taking dozens hostage. Tehran would doggedly pursue anti-Western policies for decades to come. The revolution's 40th anniversary arrives at a critical juncture for the Islamic Republic, hobbled by US sanctions, infighting, and the frustration of a restless young populace, most of whom were born after the revolution. Some regime insiders have warned recently that the Islamic establishment could collapse. Even one of Khomeini's own grandsons warned there's no guarantee that this system his grandfather created would survive. Despite such speculation, it is clear that the clerical establishment remains firmly in place.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That now should bring you up to date as to how things turned out or happened for the people of Iran. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. That's a little something coming in. The people of Iran now are living under a terribly corrupt government that is stifling, to say the very least. And again, the fellow who died is the world, in the free world at least, in its eyes, say good riddance to him, because they know that he was responsible for the wholesale murder of thousands of political prisoners, dissenters, and so forth. And that is just something that we all know is just not right. So thankfully, well, what else is going to happen here in Iran now remains to be seen. We don't know. We have no idea what is going to happen, but we do know that the vice president has assumed the presidency, and he is a heavy-fisted, ultra hardliner. And if we think that things were pretty bad before, I guess I am told by those who are in the know, we ain't seen nothing yet. That having been said, now our thoughts are turned to what is going on with Israel, because they have been beset and besieged by a great number of directions, all of which are being financed by, or not being financed by, the Iranians. And as we had heard before, it seemed that attacks on U.S. government bases have ceased or seceded at least a little bit for the time being. And now that this has taken place, all bets are off. Whatever's going on remains to be seen, and I'm certain at this point all of the bases remain at a situation of high alert, watching and guarding and waiting to find out what's going to happen next. We all remember now that only a short time ago, Iran launched over 300, some 350 missiles and drones and guided things and whatever else to go and try and impact over in Israel. Thankfully, the Iron Dome dispensed with the lion's share of those things, and the other ones that came down basically came down in areas that were barely scratched, and they only caused some minor amount of injuries to people. Thankfully, thank the Lord that things weren't a lot worse. But the question is now: is there going to be a resurgence of this? Is there going to be a larger attack? And of course, in the back of the mind, in the back of everyone's minds, Iran with their nuclear program, that not only President Barack the Wonder Schmuck Obama and Sleepy Joe Jack in the Box Biden have allowed to happen, the advancement of Iran's nuclear capabilities, their a nuclear program enriching uranium to weapons grade uranium, and now it is believed that it is only a period of days before that the Iranians succeed in assembling a thermonuclear device. And on top of that, their friendships with the Russian government may afford them a delivery system for that weapon. Mr. Blazeman, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, first of all, last time when we spoke about this, they said what? It was going to be like about 5 days before Iran has a full nuclear bomb. Okay, and we already been talking about this situation for 2 or 3 days now. So what do they got? A couple of days left. Maybe by Wednesday they'll be able to fucking blow up Israel from the planet. I don't know. I don't know why these people seek nuclear weapons, and a lot of yous are gonna email the hell out of ffnnetwork9@gmail.com, because I mean, what the fuck? What's fair is fair, right? Everybody else around them's got nuclear bombs. So who is everybody else to say that they can't have one? I don't know. But they shouldn't have one because they fund terrorist organizations, and Iran is a terrorist regime anyways. They just pass off their dirty work to the guy in the field that has no problem shooting a rocket.
Right. I kind of view them, if you will, they have the gentleman farmers. Fellow owns a farm, but he pays other people to do the work for him. Correct. And this is the same sort of thing. Iran owns the terrorist agency when they go ahead and they farm out all that messy, dirty killing work to the people that are around them. And so that they appear that their hands are clean and they're all nicey, leashy, let's cuddle up and kumbaya. Well, that ain't all. I don't care. Fuck all for that, pardon my language. But you know what? It's all being exposed. And now that we have these things that are going on with people
I'm not
that are
letting
here in the
this
United
helicopter
States.
crash go. So go
Pardon
ahead and say what you're going to say, because I'm bringing it up again. But go ahead.
With people that are here in the United States, now that this helicopter crash has gone on, we've seen this president taken out, this new fellow coming in. I think you're going to see things get ratcheted up.
I think they took him out.
Yeah, okay. And I'm along with you. I think somebody took this son of a bitch out, and
where's the
good
copter?
riddance to him. What's that?
Where is the copter?
Where the copter is someplace
they
else.
They found this fucking helicopter. Excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm getting pissed off. And y'all need to give us some of your ideas. 508-974-4231. We can't be the only ones, or I can't be the only one who sees this. Where's the rest of the helicopter? My opinion alone is they came in at night when the fog was crazy, because I don't care if Iran is this third world little country. And I don't think they're so third world. I don't think the people that are there understand that they're third world, because we've seen some video that would probably blow most of your minds. I mean, they got malls in Iran that are like 100% copied of the malls in the United States and around the world. Okay, these people make their own jeans. They don't got Lee or Jordache.
They have the technologies. They have medical centers. They have science centers. They have museums. They have technology that existed from before the time of the established Greeks, for God's sake.
And I'm not trying to like uplift Iran in any way, shape, or form. B, you got to understand that. I'm not trying to do that.
History doesn't lie.
But
History
exactly,
doesn't lie.
history does not lie. And I'm not sure what mathematic it was that was invented in Iran. I don't know if it was calculus or something like that, but they invented it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly under the ruling thumb of this son of a bitch, one of their things of math was 10 little, 9 little, 8 little Indians.
Right. And then, you get these, people that just want to control other people. And then they get into, the politics or whatever you want to call it out there in Iran. And then what does it do? It turns into this, want to conquer the world type of country, type of bullshit. And the average person like you and I be that live there, they don't want no part of it. They don't want no part of it no more. Okay,
no, absolutely not.
And they see they see the Western, the way the Western side lives. And don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we certainly here in the United States got plenty of our own freaking problems. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I certainly don't. My wife, myself, especially my wife, doesn't certainly have to worry about walking out the fucking door, excuse my French, and have something on her head. So the morale polices, that's what it's called. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Iran has got what is called the morale police. It's guys walking up and down the street and not particularly looking for other men to see if they tied their shoes, okay, or they're dressed correctly.
Not morale police, morality police.
Morality police. Thank you very much, B. The morality police. Any way you look at it, B, it's insane.
I need to interject something here. When I was young, I grew up with a wonderful family across the street from me that were their family was from Iran. And they weren't like this. They were very nice, lovely, wonderful people that we would share meals with and we would talk to and spend out helping each other out when things happened at any time, day or night. They weren't like this.
Because they ain't got people telling them what to do.
Yeah, all of this stuff happened when they got all the upheaval back in the 70s, and the people got all stirred up by this Ayatollah and the Islamic extremism crap.
Right. And you know what, B? And I agree with you, B. I think we need to. What year was it, B? 79
when the Iranian Revolution took place.
Okay.
1979.
All right, I'm looking it up real quick here, B. I want to make sure I find the right one. All right, I'm gonna grab the one from the PLO.
Yasser Arafat. That's over in the Palestinians.
Right. Now, what did you want from me?
No, I had sent those as a courtesy so you can take a look at them and see the history of how Yasser Arafat was, and over the period of time, you'd see that they were offered several times. They were offered concessions and so forth, and he turned around and said, "Afangumans."
Right, and I understand that, B. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to bear with us because the FFN network is live. We're live every time. There's nothing taped until the show is done, and then what you watch later on obviously is taped.
It is important for the people to understand that this is spontaneous and unrehearsed.
B, I got 3 videos here: 1978, 1975, and 1989. B, which one is going to explain and how Iran went from being normal to crazy?
All of those have nothing to do with Iran. It has everything to do with Gaza.
Okay.
I said that for an understanding for additional programming.
Okay.
And I apologize for any confusion about that.
Right. Okay. So now, do we have a video that explains the switch over from Iran?
We just showed it.
We did?
Yes. That video.
Oh, that B. I was like 3 minutes long. How the hell did that explain anything?
There was the entire history was put right into it. It
Well,
was all
let's
shown
watch
right
it
there
again
from the
because I
time that
might
the
have missed
Shah of
it.
Iran left Iran for a vacation and never returned to the rising of the Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, and up to just about present time.
And what year was that?
That video was actually, it was the 40th anniversary, which would have made it 2019 was when that was produced from, I believe, the BBC.
Hmm. Go ahead, B.
Well, yeah, and since all of that had happened, Iran has just remained. Although they have the technology, although they have everything that's there that puts them forth as what would be a first world country, they are living back largely in a third world mindset, in a land of totalitarianist rule, which is horrific. In a land that, well, if a woman doesn't wear a head covering properly, she can get buried up to the shoulders in the ground, and people throw rocks at her until she's dead. And this is what the Iranian government is. It truly is like. We showed before a video of an interview with the President Ibrahim Raisi that was done in 2022 with Leslie Stahl, and she came out and she said that she could not enter the room before him. She had to have covering on, and they only had a certain period of time which was they could ask certain questions only, and that was it. Women to them are little more than the dirt underneath the feet of a man. This is not the kind of world that a lot of people believe that it is. And we have a phone caller coming in. I certainly hope that we can take this call. Are we there? Okay. As soon as my engineer gets back, we will answer the call. I hope the caller remains on the call. If it does not answer, please call back. My engineer at the moment had to take a break. I apologize. We will get the call so you can get on. We'd like to hear what you have to say. Please, by all means, if you call and you don't get an answer, don't go away. Call back, and we will get to it. My engineer, unfortunately, is away from his position at the moment. I believe maybe he probably had to take an urgent personal break. Not sure. Maybe he's warming. I don't think he's just warming up his coffee. That's one of the most unprofessional things you can do. Hey, but yeah, I'm gonna go warm up my
I'm
coffee here. Look at a dead
Sorry, we're
screen.
having internet issues here, but everything is running smooth as far as our end. So continue, B, and I'm going to be behind the scenes making sure that it runs, and I'll be right back with you.
Okay, that phone call. If it comes back in, will you be able to take it?
It wasn't for us.
Oh, it wasn't for us. Okay, all right. Well, all right. That having been said, yeah, the crash that took place was sometime. Exactly what time it was yesterday, it is unclear. All we know is that they had the president and the crew and so forth that were on the helicopter took off after going for a blessing, if you will, of apparently a dam that serviced a regional area that had been constructed and opened up. It was kind of like, if you will, a christening, like some people take and they bang a bottle of champagne against the front of a ship or something like that. They had the ceremony, and afterward had loaded back up in this helicopter. Now there were two other helicopters along with it in their party. How those two helicopters made it out and home unscathed without a problem, I don't know. I have no idea. But that did happen, well, according to, again, what was reported by Iranian state news agencies and so forth that they have. But the helicopter went down, and because it was in a very dense area of the forest over in the East Azerbaijani area, uh, it made it very, very difficult to be able to get to for any search and rescue efforts. And of course, the evening coming on and dense fog. And they did show some images from the time when the fog was very dense. And I will tell you, yes, indeed, you could see it. It looked like you were looking through a snowstorm. Actually, the fog was so dense. And unfortunately, it took a great period of time for them to be able to get to them. But the first information that we had was that there was a drone that had been launched, and I believe it may have been a drone from a different government. I'm not certain why, but there was a drone that had found heat signatures. That kind of pointed to where they supposed this helicopter had gone down. And well, now we do have the images of a helicopter's tail section and a debris field and what looks like an impact area with a blowout, but we don't see the fuselage, the main section, body section of the helicopter. We have seen images of the people loading what appears to be covered over bodies, but again, no fuselage. You can say, well, okay, the fuselage burned up in the crash and so forth and blew out. Then how did they find these bodies so intact? That again, a question in my mind. All of this remains to be seen. And again, we are at the mercy pretty much of the Iranian government, who tells us only what they want us to know, and they'll turn around and tell us. First, they told us, "Oh, it had a hard landing," but blah blah blah, and only very early in the morning hours did they finally come out and give the confirmation that he was indeed dead. This is a situation which remains in flux, and we continue to seek new information so we can report it to you folks. But apparently, again, the lid on this thing is being kept as tight as
the lid could be as tight as a. Hello, everybody. I'm back. I am Blaze Man, producer, owner of FFN Network, and blah blah blah. And yeah, so internet is good. B, we're running, we're up and we're running good. I just
okay.
Because I left because I turned to my left and I could see my modem, and my modem started flashing, and it was the big flashing button. So
boy,
I was like, oh shit, we can't lose connection now, But it's all set. Everything is running good. We haven't lost nobody. But you guys, I'm not letting it go. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I'm not letting it go, because this is gonna be, you could talk about all this stuff that you want to talk about, B, and it's all relevant and it all makes sense, and you're doing a fantastic job. But what's gonna come out and what's gonna be the big story, B? Okay, where the fuck is the rest of that helicopter?
And I was starting to point towards it. We had this crash. You can say that, oh, the fuselage, it burned up and it melted. It was from the heat of the fire and so forth. Great. Well, how do they come out with intact bodies to haul away?
Right.
How did they come out with intact bodies to haul away?
Right. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing it. You're seeing it right now on your screen. Give us a call, 508-974-4231, and give us your explanation. Where is the rest of this helicopter? Okay? And I say, Blaze Man, personal opinion, ladies and gentlemen, is they came at night because they found it. Okay? All right? They found it. Technology that's out there right now, and the EU was the one who helped them out, right? With the satellites. B, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
They're the ones who helped them out with satellites, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so come on, man.
Well, you know what?
Listen, B.
This is
B,
quickly turning
listen.
into the Roswell of Iran.
But it's not going to be the Roswell of Iran because
Well, yeah.
anybody that's
Where did the
common sense
spaceship
knows that something
go?
happened. B,
Where
I
did the
could take
crash
my cell
spaceship
phone.
go?
B, I could take my cell phone, okay, and until 4 or 5 steps, the GPS will put me right where I need to go, okay, in error, okay, about 1%. All right. Now we're talking about high-tech satellites. Put those guys in, well, they probably didn't have women helping for the search, but the guys right in front of the goddamn helicopter, B. Okay? And they got there and they seen, okay, what was happening. All right. Took the fuselage, cockpit, whatever you want to call it. And now they're examining it because it either fucking got blown up from inside or it got shot down.
Right.
That's why it's not there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, but the Iranian people think that people are really fucking stupid.
Okay. Given the topography of the area and the fact that there are no roads would mean that the only way that they could get that fuselage out is and it's possible if they hooked it up with another helicopter and airlifted it out. And it certainly could be done. I mean, we have Chinook helicopters that could easily do that.
Right. And now Chinook helicopters are so old that there's a chance that we sold some to fucking Iran.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But even the helicopters of today that aren't Chinooks, they have other sky crane type helicopters that are single rotor, not dual rotor helicopters. They can do the same sort of thing. Ah,
hey, Snicks,
Mr. Parsons, all the way back from beyond. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, welcome back, Snicks. Listen, B, I want you to look at the terrain. I want you to look at the whole picture.
I am.
The whole entire picture, B.
Yep.
And up the top over here, B. Over here.
Yep.
Do you think that this whole thing is like, say, like a mountainside? In the plane crash.
Well, yeah,
in the plane
crash. Terrain.
And
yeah, go ahead.
Mountainside, plane crashes, and this that we're seeing now, like if I was to walk to the edge over here, okay, and I could jump off that, is that the way I'm seeing that?
No, I believe what you're seeing is something that like it pitches and rolls and so forth. And if you may remember when they had the live views, just to the if you will the left of the area in his photograph is a very large layout, a very large clearing area.
Right here.
No, your other left, my friend. There you go. That's side.
So
just
left.
to that side. Beyond that side is a large clear area. So in theory, they would be able to create, if you will, a landing zone in that area, so that they could bring people in and march them maybe a half mile through the woods into the crash zone.
Yeah, I disagree with that, B. If there were a landing zone, here's a clearing right here. Right bottom right corner. Here's a clearing right there where they could have, stopped. Okay. But B and I theory right now is number one, I said that it was an assassination. For whatever reason, they wanted him gone so they could put in this other guy that they have, and they blew the helicopter to smithereens. Or it got shot down. So, and I'm getting feedback from you, Snicks. Or it got shot down. Snicks.
Like I said, man.
You're the one who put right in the count. You're the one who put right here.
Either way.
Right here. This is your words. Please, just a little question. But from what you said, I am smelling a conspiracy at hand coming from your way.
Yeah. And, I'm not going to come on here today, and say, it was this, that, whatever. to my relation was specifically just to
the picture.
The picture and
Right.
what I'm getting from it, so what do they call it? Just a little analyzing, get the brain going on a Monday, but there's you can't deny that, you know what I mean? So no matter what your thoughts are, I just want to tell you that fucking cockpit front of the plane that you're looking for, but you're not gonna find it.
Yeah, no kidding. We're not gonna
there.
find it
It's right
because
there.
because like B said, it was we helicoptered out of there. They helicoptered it out of there.
Well,
This
Nick,
is not debris. I don't know why everybody thinks that this is helicopter debris. This don't look like helicopter debris from me at all.
Because of the image. I'm sure if you were there, whatever props or real debris that it is, you'd see it better. That's just what you're getting from that satellite or
Well, this
higher
is
view.
It's pixeling up because I'm moving in.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
the resolution just isn't there for us.
the
to
resolution
be able to
comes
make,
out now.
Yeah,
Okay.
to make a better analysis.
And I don't know what this is.
It looks like toilet paper from there.
Right. I don't know what this is. What is this?
That could be a piece of ledge of rock that got.
1 second, gentlemen.
What is this? Right here. What is this? Give us a call. 508-974-4231. Give us a call. What is this? And where is the rest of the helicopter? I don't buy it, B. I don't buy it. I think, again, because of GPS, yes, it was foggy as hell. Last night's special, we showed everybody everything that we had. Okay, the fog, the whole 9 yards. Yes, the weather was crazy. Okay, so the helicopter crashes into a side of the building. Okay, all right.
Building?
I'm sorry, to the side of the mountain or whatever it be.
Right. Okay.
And there's no more. There's nothing.
Right.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do, B, while you entertain, and I'm gonna leave this picture up here for the viewers. And while you entertain, B, I'm going to research other fucking helicopter crashes. And then we're going to see the difference, okay? And I guarantee other helicopter crashes that I'm about to show that you folks and you, Mr. B, okay, is going to show that the helicopter does not get obliterated like that, okay? And the entire fuselage, cockpit, whatever the fuck you want to call it, excuse my language, okay, is still visible to the eye. Go ahead, B.
I'll go ahead with it. Although I'm not exactly sure where we can go at this point. You can see that there's a crater, and you can see that there is the tail section and the orientation of that tail section. It would appear that the crater goes in at an angle downward like this, and the tail section is back up over here. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make sense. This as we're seeing this, what is purported as the crash scene, doesn't make any sense when there's that, and then there's this way, and all these people, and the fact that they were bringing out intact bodies that they could haul away and bring out to bury and so forth. None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. And I'm of the firm belief, of course, we all know that we have to take anything that comes out of this regime's official news briefings or whatever else, we have to take them with quite a grain of salt. Because getting these people wouldn't know how to tell the truth if it hopped up and bit them in the ass, in plain English. So now we have to rely on not what we're being told, but what makes more sense. What makes more sense. And if you look at this, and as we see, if you will, the parts orientation and so forth, the flow mechanics, if you will, of this, what we're seeing, just doesn't make sense. This was not a simple crash and that's it and whatever else. Far more happened here. Far more happened here than what could possibly be explained by what we've heard from the official Iranian news agencies. And I wonder what there is now in the intelligence communities that are going around that are analyzing what we're seeing and what they're coming up with, because what we've been hearing just doesn't all add up. And yes, Mr. Parsons is absolutely correct that it's possible that all of these things, and my own supposition, that all of these pieces of particles and so forth that are blown and strewn all over the place, this debris field, could very well be the rest of the helicopter, but it does not explain how the rest of this helicopter could blow like that, but they still have intact bodies that they could bring out and they could recover and go through all the topography and so forth and bring them out and load them into ambulances and drive them off. It doesn't explain any of that at all. So I'm kind of wondering at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is there somebody out there that maybe has some idea, can shine some light on this? I want you to pick up the phone and call in and talk with me, 508-974-4231. Or you can also email us, ffnnetwork9@gmail.com. But I'd like to have a conversation with somebody. Call in 508-974-4231 and give us your take on what's going on. Let me know have you heard something else that we don't know about, because as good as we are, we're not perfect. We don't have our ear to every square inch of the ground. We try to. Maybe we might have missed something. If you've got some information that we have missed, please let us know. 508-974-4231. We are going on, and we're going to coming up in a couple of minutes. We're going to be taking another break because it's that time, and frankly, I need to refill this. So, and we will be able to round up a little more information very possibly for you. I know Mr. Blazeman is working very hard on finding information on other helicopter crashes so we can possibly do a little bit of comparison and so forth. But in this moment, we're going to go in for a break, and we will come back to you probably in about 3.5 minutes or so. I'm Mr. B, Politicking with Mr. B, a special edition regarding the Iranian president's death. We will be back in a couple of minutes, in about 3 minutes.
My name is Steven, your public relations officer at FFN Media Network. We believe that every story deserves to be heard. Every voice deserves to be amplified, and every idea deserves to shine. As a small media company, we are committed to creating a platform where content creators, visionaries, and changemakers like you can thrive. You might say to yourself, why do we need FFN Network? Well, let me tell you what we can do for you. 1, our mission is simple: empower, elevate, and engage. We are not just another media outlet. 2, our producers will help you build your show, add content, and put you on 15 different platforms. 3, we help you promote your show. Whether it is through captivating articles, thought-provoking videos, or inspiring podcasts, we are here to help you make a difference. What sets us apart? At FFN Media Network, we embrace hard work. Our team of talented producers and creators come from all social classes, ensuring that our content reflects a rich tapestry of experiences, cultures, and viewpoints. Join the FFN team. Join FFN Media Network and be part of a community that celebrates creativity, authenticity, and positive impact. Let us amplify your voice and share your story on FFN Network and with the world. Get to know our founder, Blaise St. Pierre, the new guy in the media industry. So if you have a great idea for a show or a business and want to place an ad on FFN Network, give us a call at 774-704-5145 or email us at ffnnetwork9@gmail.com and join the FFN Network family. Thank you. FFN Network.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this special edition of Poli-Ticking with Mr. B on FFN Network. I want to give a shout out to my friend Blaze, man. And of course, I've got my cohort over here from Unbox Thoughts, Nick Parsons. Great guy, big smile. I want to go ahead and do a quick recap for the people who may be just joining us. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi is dead after an air crash from his helicopter, along with the Iranian foreign minister. The crash happened sometime yesterday over in Iran, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, current time now in Iran is, we'll tell you in just a moment. Current time in Tehran, Iran is 5:54. It's coming up on 6 o'clock, and it's about 5:30 in Tel Aviv, Israel. Mr. Parsons, you say you've got something here. Your eyes are bulging out of your head. What's going on, my friend?
No, Blaze is hearing feedback.
Ah, okay. All right. I have no idea where that feedback may be coming from. This crash took place over the Dizmir section of East Azerbaijan. They had been out there because they had a former gathering that was sort of giving the opening blessing for the opening of a dam that was opened up to service additional infrastructure. It is unclear. There were 3 helicopters apparently that took off from the happening that was there at that time. 2 of them made it back to the base where they were going, but this one went down. Nobody knows why it happened to be this. Nobody also knows why they would do something as incredibly stupid as put the president of the nation and their foreign minister on the same freaking aircraft. But you know what? Lesson learned. This thing stinks worse. If you don't mind my saying so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to come out and say it. This thing stinks worse than a whorehouse at low tide next to a tuna can factory. More and more we think about this. Things are just going wrong.
They're going to stink too. Okay, look, I got the best evidence that I found that explains what a helicopter should look like after crashing into the side of a fucking mountain with trees in just this type of area.
Okay, let's have a look.
And not only that, then the Hueys come flying in because they can't get trucks in here to move the helicopter. So what do? They pull the helicopter out with helicopters. B.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can't.
I mean, the problem with me is when I start on something, I got to get answers for.
Well, if you found it, put it up here. Let's have a look. Under door number 1. Open it up.
Oh, it's coming. All right. So this is the video paused in the beginning. Look at the terrain you're looking at already, guys.
Okay.
So this is where this helicopter is because it crashed on the side of a mountain. Huh?
Is it pretty thick, dense, and rocky?
Yeah. All right. It's a quick video, so we're going to work with it, okay? As you can hear, the Hueys are coming in, because they're trying to find this helicopter that crashed into the side of the wall. Wall. Jesus Christ, please. Mountain. And there's the helicopter that crashed into a side of a mountain, okay? And is laying there next to a little river creek and is pretty much fully intact, B.
All right.
Well, you can see it, right?
I can see it. Yes, I'm going along with it.
It's intact.
I'm waiting to see the rest of it. Okay.
Well, it's just there, laying on its side, B. There's nothing.
Oh, I thought you said that you see them
There you
lifting
go.
it out with the helicopter.
Yeah, even a better picture. Now, this helicopter crashed in the side of a mountain and rolled and all of this fun stuff, B.
Yeah.
And look at that.
Yeah. Yep.
Look at that. The fuselage, the cockpit. It's all there, B.
Yep. Yep. No great explosion.
Okay.
No great crater.
Well, in all fairness, this one hit the side of the mountain and like rolled a little bit. So
Okay.
if there's an impact, it's probably wherever it impacted on that mountain. But there it is. Fully intact.
Okay.
Oh, even a closer up. Look at that.
All right.
The tail right here is a little bit busted off. Maybe it didn't hit the side of the mountain as this one supposedly did, but I don't know. What was the helicopter in the other picture doing? Like 1,100 miles an hour to incinerate the cockpit fuselage? You know, come on. Again,
well, motorcycle
fully intact. Okay, fully intact. B.
I want to interject something here.
Yes,
and this
sir.
is gonna step back to the things back in the late 70s, early 80s when they had the Iranian Revolution. You remember when they had taken the hostages and Jimmy Carter sent a humanitarian rescue mission of Americans that went terribly wrong, and helicopters crashed in the desert trying to get to them. Right. And those helicopters didn't all blow apart, and they had to be blown apart and burned by the American military,
so because of technology reasons.
Because of the technology, and it didn't wind up like this. And those things were loaded with aviation fuel as well.
Right. And that's going to be the biggest question that's going to go out there. And you know where they're going to get it from, guys? They're going to get it from the FFN network. Okay, that's where they're going to get it from. Because I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you right now, remember what we're talking about here. Because this right here is going to be the problem. Because now, if the Iranians helicoptered out the cockpit, okay, and they want to hide the fact that it was blowing up from the inside, because we're never going to know. They're never going to tell us the truth. You know what I mean? But they took it because, number one, they did assassinate him, blow him up, and they don't want anybody to see that. Because they certainly, I mean, okay, let me finish this and then I'll get into the other quick conspiracy. All right, number one, okay, fuselage, they take it out, whatever. They don't want nobody to see if it was blown up from the inside or it was shot down. Okay, if they shot it down themselves, then they can say it was shot down and they could start doing a blame game, and 80% of that is going to go right. Exactly, Snicks. And 80% of that is going to be directed at Israel. Can we say that's fair to say, right?
Absolutely. And I keep looking at this scene that we're looking at right now, and I keep seeing this deep crater and all the stuff that's blown backwards. None of this makes sense as just, oh, this was a crash. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right. B, and I love you to death, and you know I do, bro. You're my counterpart, but you know, you was ready to this picture, you was ready to kick it in the archives. You didn't want to pay attention to it anymore. You was like, oh yeah, look, there's a tail, and this is look, and see this and see that. You know, until and I'm being honest, until I pushed it at you and pushed it at our viewers and pushed it at our viewers, and I think I'm doing the same thing with our viewers too. Now you're starting to look at the picture.
Yep.
And now you're starting to say
there's something to be said for a fresh pair of eyes.
Well, we gotta get let Snicks have a quick opinion here. Go ahead, buddy.
Snicks, go ahead.
No, dude. Your chat left. They're already Googling this shit because of the content you guys brought to them today. So now they're fucking interested.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
You're right.
But, I mean, like, my thought really of it at the end of the day, I think it could be a conspiracy. That's just me.
Okay.
Well, you know what sucks too is you got to say conspiracy because you can't say it's the truth because we don't know it's the truth. So now we got to say conspiracy because hey,
right.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, if they pop up in a couple of days, we brought it to you guys first. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, it's happened. B.
Yeah,
even my wife is a witness that we've talked about stuff on the FFN network that hit the news a day or so later.
Absolutely. The things that you're seeing here, and the things that we've brought you, we're proud to have done it. And it's things that you're not finding anywhere else. And why? God only knows why. There's a fine art to journalism. There's a gold to the art of journalism that has long been forgotten. But here at the FFN network, I'm proud to stand with people, all of which bring the content that needs to be brought without reservation. If you want to find out the things, you're going to find it out here. And some people may down upon others for this being some little ragtag rinky-dink operation. But you know what? We've got the content. Nobody else has the brass tacks to come forward with.
Then I agree with that. And you get an amen on that. Okay.
Yeah. I'll third that motion. Actually, you know what? I got multiple personalities, so I'll third, fourth, and fifth that motion.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
There you go. I like that. Just for future references, only the real you get a vote, not the crazy 8 motherfuckers that you
No,
got going on in your
the other ones are well established. We're all 35 now, so
okay,
you got that right.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Well, whatever you are, we need you all to vote for Trump in the election in November.
Oh man, I can't. But look, guys, you know, I'm sitting here, and okay, you know, let me do one better because we're so sophisticated here at the FFN network. We can do shit like this.
What is that word? Sophisticated.
Sophisticated. Look, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not saying all of these helicopters crashed into the side of mountains, but you know, when a helicopter crashes, let's say it's fair to say that it's at least like 800 feet in the air. Would you say that would be a fair assessment?
It could be.
Well, right.
You still can't say that though. You really can't, because all it takes is that one particular spot to be hit to ignite the motherfucker. So any one of these, like for me anyway, they're all irrelevant. I don't give a fuck what they look like, you know, because I'm sure if you just kept digging deeper and scrolling, you'd find one that's all torture. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, that's fine, but you can't do that and argue a point at the same time. You got to pick one. So again, I think that the video that we showed clarified all of that as far as the fuselage being intact from a helicopter hitting the side of a mountain. And I do think that these pictures are irrelevant. This helicopter crashed, a tree trimming helicopter crash. I don't know what that means, but if it's up in the trees, again, we're talking about a couple of 100 feet in the air.
So let me say something, okay? Let me ask you something. I'm driving a Chevy. I smack it into a tree. It doesn't ignite. But now, remember the old Volkswagen Beetles, the Bugs with the engines in the back?
And they had magnesium transmissions.
If I go in reverse in that car, smack it into a tree, and it ignites, what would be the argument there?
I don't know what the argument.
I have no idea where you're coming with this.
So he's basically trying to say, just because all these goddamn helicopters, they're not torched, they're different accidents and shit like that. But what I'm arguing is it's not particularly the plane or helicopter. No, it's all about where it lands, where it hits. Is what I'm saying. That one particular spot can just ignite that motherfucker, and that's it. But just because 9 other planes landed and weren't inflamed or whatever the case is.
I see your point.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing.
Okay, so here's a pretty decent example, right? Let me dump this for you folks real quick, and then I'm gonna put it up. Okay, so this right here is two helicopters colliding into one another.
Mid-air collision.
Now, well, I'm putting this up for a reason because Snicks feels that if the helicopter is full of fuel and no matter what it crashes into, it's going to explode because
I never said that.
Fuel.
I never said that. You're mixing up the words.
Well, I didn't mix up the words.
Said you can have
maybe
10
didn't add something.
Okay.
But
you
doesn't it got to do with fuel?
9 of them fucking don't torch up. One of them does. They all crash the same way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying because it has the fuel. It just takes that one particular spot. All these helicopters are built differently, okay? Which was my reference from the Chevy to the Beetle, but you didn't catch that either.
I did, but it was the Vega. It was no, I'm sorry. It was the Pinto that they took offline because of where the gas tank was in the back, and if it got hit hard enough in the back, it could explode the gas tank. It was a Pinto. That was the car. But go ahead.
Yes, that was the Pinto.
Yeah.
I referred to the engines and everything else being in the back. Just in reference, never mind, okay?
I understand what you're trying to say. All it takes is one, if the helicopter falls a certain way or whatever, and it ignites its spark, yeah, it's blowing that fucking thing up. I agree with you with that, okay? And I also agree, different helicopters are built different ways and stuff like that, okay? That, to me, it could be that crater that we seen on the picture, and I'll bring it up after we show the video again. That crater could have been the explosion, okay? But my argument, again, is where's the rest of the helicopter? They had to have cleaned this area out.
Yeah, they definitely did. When you look at it at the end of the day, absolutely. You know what I mean? Or it was just staged. There's no other way to really look at it.
So clearly, when one of these helicopters are going down, it's on fire already. There's no explosion when it hits. See? So what happened was the rotors got tangled. These two helicopters right here. Okay, boom, hits the rudder. Okay, one's already in pieces. Boom. That must have been one of the lucky helicopters because there's no explosion.
Not good.
Okay. All I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, and I know you're probably like, shut the fuck up. You said all you're saying 1,000 times, and I'm probably going to say it 1,000 more. And where's the rest of the helicopter? Did they take it away, guys? Did they go in at night, like I say, and they pick up the debris like fucking Roswell?
All right, just to put your mind at ease, before they even aired that shit, they've got a bunch of people together with brooms and shit. They swept that fucking shit for their news, likings, right. And they gave it to us. Okay,
right? It's state media TV, right? Guys.
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead, continue.
Right. Guys, you don't think that England, the United States, anybody who's got defense type style, fucking high powered resolution fucking satellites. I mean, they got a show on Discovery Channel, man, where they can pinpoint shit, and it's just the Discovery Channel. And you're not going to tell me that the American military and the English military didn't have their high powered satellites over this fucking thing to take pictures of the crash site?
Blaze. Let me interject something. They have things where they have shown a fellow sitting on a park bench in Central Park reading a newspaper, and the resolution that they have from these satellites allows you to read the text in the newspaper.
I seen that.
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, they have incredible amount of capabilities, and including being able to correct for the density of the vapor in the air caused by the fog, which would allow them to see the wreckage area with unobstructed.
Yeah. Right.
Are we going to get access to those images? Absolutely not.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'm listening.
The government isn't going to turn around and put those things on the front page of the New York Post or the National Enquirer, folks. The government knows what they're looking at. We're not going to see it, but of course, these images and this information is well in the hands of the intelligence community. I'm certain of that. What they're going to do with it, I don't know. Are we ever going to see it? Probably not in our lifetime. Right. Maybe, but I sincerely doubt it. But everything that we're looking at here, nothing makes sense the way it is being presented to us presently. There's more to this story that we have not been told, and we can see they're doing a hell of a job of being idiots trying to cover it up. Whoever did a site like this and is trying to lead us to believe that this is all to the story that there is has bought themselves a season's pass to the Fucktard Express. We're not buying it. We're not buying it. There's more to this story here. The question is, when is it going to come out? And I truly believe that right now, damage control is going into hyper gear in the state of Iran. Your thoughts, Mr. Blazeman?
Well, my thought on it is that let me bring myself up. I'm sorry I'm off camera, but I'm researching as I talk. Like I said, I'm also the producer, so I mean, I'm still caught on the fact that I don't know if they assassinated this guy. And what we need to do is we need to research and find out who this other cat really is that they brought in to take his place now that this guy's dead. Was there some kind of rivalry going on? Was there something I don't know. Did one son date the other one's daughter and didn't fucking give him enough sheep or cows for her or whatever? I don't know.
Popular intelligence community belief is that this was something that was done by an act of the Mossad, which is it's like the NSA of the Israeli state. Pardon me. Very, very good, and they're incredibly well known for their surgical capabilities to handle such matters. The fact that they took out not only the president but the foreign minister profoundly damages the internal infrastructure, if you will, of the Iranian government. However, they do have this fellow who was the vice president, who has now stepped into the interim presidency with an election that should be slated to be held within a few weeks, if not maybe a few months' time. which
okay, B, we got the
has been thought to believe or believed to be another one of these elections where almost nobody shows up to the polls because it's already going to be a foregone conclusion. This guy wins the presidency. Go ahead, Mr. Blazer. You had something.
Yeah, we're gonna throw up a live video of what's going on right now. So bear with me. Here we go. We've seen these images before, but now we'll be able to hear them. It's a clearer interpretation and all of that stuff like that. Okay.
Here in Astana will now be leading the Iranian delegation for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting of the Council of Foreign Ministers that is scheduled to take off today through an informal dinner that begins sometime at around 6:30 in about 8 hours from now, local time. The Irani Charge d'Affaires here in Astana will be leading that. The ambassador has been asked to come back to Tehran. So therefore, the Irani Charge d'Affaires, the CDA, will be leading that. What we knew that up until last night, the Irani officials were quite optimistic. They did not indicate a change in a change in the schedule, and the initial schedule was that Hossein Amir Abdullahian would land at about 3 p.m. local time here in Astana, and then after that he was due to hold some bilateral meetings, including a meeting with his Chinese counterpart, a meeting with his Russian counterpart, and with his Pakistani counterpart as well. But now that he will not be here because of this unfortunate incident where there is no sign of life and he has unfortunately passed away. So the Iranian side will now be represented by a local and in-house officer, the Charge d'Affaires, who is based here at the Embassy of Iran in Astana. Reisha.
Right, Anas, thank you for joining us on this broadcast.
Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi has been killed in a helicopter crash in mountainous terrain near the Azerbaijan border. The charred wreckage of the helicopter, which crashed on Sunday, carrying Raisi and 8 others, was found around 12 hours after the crash. This after an overnight search in extreme weather conditions, with the Iranian Red Crescent Society releasing the first video of the crash site this morning. Iranian state television reported no survivors were found at the location.
So where did the bodies come from, B?
In a video shared by the IRC, search and rescue teams were seen studying a map and GPS as they tried to locate President Ibrahim Raisi's helicopter, which went missing in a fog-shrouded mountain area of northwest
Did you hear
Iran.
what she said?
Yes, I'm listening to that. This is more information now than we had before. So apparently, they had this thing pinpointed with GPS accuracy.
We seen them pull bodies out. She
Yeah,
said that there was no bodies there.
Again, how do we know that this is from the IROC, the Iranian, I believe, the news agency? And how do we know when they're lying? When their lips are moving?
Late Sunday night, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced that they had detected the exact location of the crash after receiving a signal from the helicopter and the mobile phone of one of the crew.
There's the heat signature.
The heat signature.
Yeah.
From the impact.
I got to tell you,
The
ladies and
Iranian
gentlemen,
authorities then identified a 2-kilometer radius for the crash site.
I got to tell you, I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, there's if it's out there, FFN Network is going to find it.
President Raisi and Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian were returning to Iran after inaugurating a dam on Iran's border with Azerbaijan. The helicopter carrying the president lost contact, while 2 other choppers in the convoy arrived at their destination safely.